Hello, over there, in the name of Jesus. I hope you're good. I hope you're PG. It's like some day in September. I think it could be the 5th, like who cares? Anyway, guys, look, life hurts. Life hurts. Okay, I'm trying to be jocose, it's not really working. How are you feeling how I laid the wig today? Today. The wig. Anyway, y'all, I'm also wearing makeup. I put on like an app makeup. That's what's going on. An app's makeup. Look, life is hard. Okay, so let's just get straight into the point. Hi, in the name of Christ, I've already made the greeting, so let's like move on. I keep hearing this song on a loop, and this is another hard cry of like everybody that has hurt the living daylights out of everybody. Like, you don't get to have your bread buttered on both sides. You knew that this was wrong, don't do it, but you did it anyway. It's this like freshly ground song. It goes to Ishiazi, guys. I keep getting horrible dreams of basically being back together with some strange exes. One of the exes of which is dead today. Actually, I've got 2 exes who are late, and last night I dreamt about another one that died in a motorcycle accident. And I was busy making out with him, and we were busy trying to, dishonor God. I was busy all insecure about my relationship with God, which I presently am not in waking life, but anyway, in the space I was, and I kept on getting as close to the edge as I possibly could without having sex, without fornicating, telling myself that, at least I'm not fornicating, just how much can I do before I hurt God? I'm so graduated past that. It's not even funny. I don't fondle, I don't kiss, I don't make out, I don't pet, I don't gnaw away at people's necks because I'm ravenously infested with lust or whatever. I don't do that because can't nobody put a whole bunch of coals on their loin area, crotch area, and not expect to burn. That's what the Bible has to say in the Proverbs. So the naivety of the wicked, what's going on? Precisely because they don't yet know God. However, they make observations of the righteous, and they see that they are onto something even though life is really hard for the righteous, and then they try to come back. And I'm not just speaking about exes, but in my dream there was not only this dead ex-boyfriend that I was making out with, in other words, evidencing just death in trespasses and sins, just somebody that's already a finished deal, reprobate, it's over, he's not coming back, he's in hell, alright? And I'm sorry if I'm sounding apathetic, my life is hard, we don't have time to be giving compassion to the dead. Let the dead bury their dead, that's what Jesus says, and the Lord has come to bring us life who are still breathing. He's the God of the living and not of the dead, so at this point it's RIP, except not whoops, you didn't know God, whatever, he's gone. Okay, it evidences basically somebody, but he was alive in my dream, evidencing somebody that is presently exceptionally reprobate. I am being pursued by dead people who are basically 2 seconds away from plunging into the abyss. They will inevitably go there because they will hate God. However, there will have been so much to awarded them to do a better thing and decided not to do it, including their guilt and their disquiet. And in my dream, I not only was in the presence of this dead ex, evidencing somebody that is currently alive, however extremely reprobate, and will highly unlikely give their life to God. They will die in that state and then go into the abyss, following which they will be resurrected only to be thrown into a second death. There was also one of my former really good friends who was trying to hang out with me in this dirty environment that I was in, suffering. Life was hard. My mom was still whatever she is. I still was basically living like a child, even though I'm a whole bordering on 40 woman. I'm 39, okay, but I was still in this dream pretty much in the same conditions I'm in now, ducking a yelling parent like I'm 16 or whatever. Because I was in that position, it was precisely in that state, in that lowly position that I was in, that then these 2 random buffooneries were given bravado to imagine they can come back into my life. In my dream, I was accommodating them, unfortunately, but in waking life, I roll my eyes. So we're going to talk about this strange phenomenon that is the wicked who decide that since they went and put somebody in a casket, now that 5 years have progressed, 10, 20, 15, maybe 70, and they realize that what they did was really sucky, but the person is still in a casket, so I'm going to basically go back to 1999 and 2023 and pretend I didn't do it all. What? Anyway, so I dreamt about this, not dreamt, I keep hearing in a loop, like pretty much all morning, this jam by Freshly Ground. I don't know it 100%, so I'm going to better it. I am going to use lyrics in there that are not part of the actual song, but frankly, the song in and of itself just speaks volumes, okay? I, again, just now as I'm busy talking to you guys, had like a flash vision of another story that I'm going to tell you, and it's going to like bust a cap in your knee at the end of it all, because it's like literally that disgusting. Okay, here and last the song. Swing, swing, swing. It's a Freshly Ground song called I'd Like, okay? Ooh, my phone is so hot in my hands. I'm like, don't get so hot. Like, what are you doing? Don't burn my hands. Like, don't do it. Anyway, whatever. I'm recording on 2 different devices. It's violently scorching. It's only going to get even more scorching because of the weather season that we find ourselves in. It's spring right currently. Hasn't even gotten that hot, so I don't know what in the world I'm going to do about recording in these heated up conditions with a fan that sounds like a bus, ramming like a bus. So it's just not an option to have it on. Maybe I'll have an ice cube or something behind my phone. It might help. Moving on, this gets the point. The name of the song is I'd Like by Freshly Ground, and it goes a little something like this. And swing, swing. Okay, there's no coughing, but that's me prepping my voice. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm gonna try and deliver high quality singing. Whatever that means in my particular life. Swing, swing, swing. I'm going to try and articulate the words as well as I can, and so not sing it like the way that the song is, lest you should like miss some of the lyrics. If you're from South Africa, you might already see it coming, but if you're not from here, you might not know who Freshly Ground is, in which case it's like, I don't know, find out, okay? Swing, swing, swing. And ziggy swing, swing, swing. That's a violin. And then it goes, what would you do if I kissed you? What would you do if I held your hand and laid you down? Would you recognize? No, sorry. Do you recognize? Would you familiar to? Whoa, goodness gracious. I can't play it. I wish I could so that you just like get the song. Because right now I'm really struggling to grasp it, but I know the main message. Guys, get your board. Okay. What would you do if I kissed you? What would you do if I held your hand and laid you down? Would you find me overly familiar towards you? Would you call me insensitive and say that I deserve to die? What would you do if I... what would I do? Whatever about these feelings holding me back inside. What would you do with all these wasted hours dreaming of you and I? Yes. And then it goes, I'd like to call you sometime. I'd like you to need me one time. I'd like you to have me all the time. Oh, I would like to have you or to call you. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. The voice is scratchy. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Leave me alone. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. What would you do if I kissed you? What would you do If I held your hand and laid you down, would you recognize it's a need I've been fighting for so long? Would you recognize it's a hunger only you can feel? What would you do if I, with these hours holding me back inside? What would you do with all these precious hours of dreaming of me, you and I'd like you to call me one time. I'd like you to need me one time. I'd like you to have me all the time. Oh, I would like to have you. And then it goes like on like that, on a loop and stuff. I'm sorry, right? Like, if I messed it up, like, leave me alone. But bottom line is, it's just a desire to return, to just revert, like, to boomerang into the life of a person. I keep on hearing that on a loop. The first, like, sort of kind of hard cry of this nature that I picked up was my ex-boyfriend of 5 years telling us as to, what would you do if I kissed you? Oh, what would you do if I held your hand and laid you down? Would you find me overly familiar towards you? Would you call me insensitive and say that I deserve to die? What would you do with all these feelings holding me back inside? What must I do with all these wasted hours dreaming of you and I? 'Cause I'd like you to need me all the time. There was a time I did need you all the time. Oh man, I liked to have you, but you lost me. You low when you had me. That was hard. Anyway, no, don't call me. Yeah, I had a dream of basically a deadbeat ex in my life. I have a living ex, a thriving alive, heart is beating and everything, ex-boyfriend that does want to come into my life, but often the Lord describes him as one of my dead exes. One of my dead exes, I have 2 of them. He just interchanges the living daylights out of them, and they represent not only my ex-boyfriend of 5 years, but also this random dude from America, who was, never mind my ex-boyfriend, but we were like engaged for like 5 seconds. So he was an ex-fiance. And they're all like, what would you do if I kissed you? What would you do if I held your hand and laid you down? Would you recognize it's a need I've been fighting for so long? Would you recognize it's a hunger only you can feel? What would you do with all these feelings holding me back inside? It doesn't, I'm sorry. The thing is, the thing, let's talk about the thing. What's the thing? Whoa, what's love got to do with it? What's love if you don't respect the game? Exactly. Like, that's just my thing. Like, herein lies the rando sitting outside of girl life. Like, you be hanging outside of girl life, eh? Let's first talk about the boys, the men. Although we go to the end of the road, still I can't let go. It's so natural. You belong to me. I belong to you. Oh, girl, lost my attitude. You know why? Oh yeah, that's another song that actually keeps coming to me. Not only the Mariah Carey one that's like, we belong together. When you left, I lost a part of me. It gets so hard to believe. Baby, we belong together. No, we don't. Hey, we belong together. Who do you think you are, Gladys Knight? Like, season disease, boys to men just don't do it. And you know that I'm right. You're a liar. How am I supposed to move on without you? Fine, so I messed up, but I can't sleep at night without holding you tight. And this is something that really is going down in my brain, and it's a pain in my head. Oh, I'd rather be dead than watch you get married, spinning around and around. Oh, the weed, no, don't stop. Full stop. Oh God, stop it. I don't want to see this train wreck. It is a train wreck. I don't want to see it. It is disturbing. I don't want to see the carnage. Yes, don't want to see it. Herein lies the deal, boys to men. Mariah Carey, Gladys Knight. I like freshly ground to call you sometime. Oh, I would like. Let's talk. Herein lies the lady chica in your lizite. Like she's in your life. The woman is in your life. So, I mean, some people might be like, oh, it's the foolery of youth. It is the foolery of youth. It's just nothing but the foolery of youth. But the dude in America was already 41 years old when he did this. So, evidencing that mankind is just dead in trespasses and sin, stupid from the get-go, but for the wisdom of the Lord. It is written in Christ's word that bring it to me now. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One brings understanding. So I mean, if a dude at 41, he is exactly the same age as my ex-boyfriend. He was born in 1980. If a dude at 41, or at least at the time he was 41, he's like 42 or 43 now. The phone died. The phone died. It did. Hey guys, my phone got so hot that it switched off. This one, I will not be able to record in this particular room. I'm gonna finish this message on my iPhone and literally cross my heart and hope to die. I'm just gonna have to hope for the best. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I haven't got a clue. I don't know what to do. I'm like Timothy Treadle. This place is hot. Guess I've got restrictions now. I literally have absolutely nowhere else to record because my phones have to stay in the charger. They have to stay in the situation. That's what's good. Otherwise they start to pass away. Like, what have you done to my video? What have you done? I might prefer to record from this device, but this device is like, it's so natural. Ooh, you belong to me. Ooh, I belong to you. Whatever. The iPhone gives me problems, you guys, and the issues that I have on the iPhone, ooh, they are dangerous. They are living dangerous, like Lebo Matosa. But the reason why they're living dangerous, it's because I have a speech lag up in this monster and I don't like it. But let's just carry on talking. Hopefully the iPhone is gonna be faithful to a sister and not give a sister grief. Whoa, even though there is a speech lag, I seriously don't know what I'm gonna do. I just have no clue, because there's nowhere else that I can record. It's about to get so hot and I've got malfunctional devices. What? Let's just carry on, okay? Talking. We'll keep saving content every 2 seconds, lest the phone should also heat up. The iPhone also gives issues with heating up. It also does. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do about this? I don't know. I am in so much trouble over here. I've got issues, I've got tissues, I've got fundamentals. It's inevitably gonna get too hot, even for the iPhone. Now I'm out just scratching my brain. Gotta find somewhere else to record my videos. I can't stay in this hot and bothered mess of a messy place. Being cozy. I would need an extension cord, and to go and record somewhere else I would need an extension cord. What am I supposed to do? Oh, I'm I'm in so much trouble. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. How can you just accept the trouble I'm in? Because it's not cute trouble, it's bad trouble. I don't like the trouble. Who likes it? I don't like the trouble. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with no more recording devices? Somebody tell us this how she's supposed to do. Lord, 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 get me a phone to work on. Oh, I got trauma. I got me some trauma. Why do I have to have a trauma? I don't like having trauma. Ooh. And I also dislike the fact that I gotta deal with a speech lag. Ooh, what is this? It's not life. Do you think it's alive? I don't believe it's alive. Don't nobody know it is a lack of life. If anything, it's death. Oh, guys. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Over here without falling apart right now. With all these speech lags on the iPhone giving me some problems, I have got an issue. I don't know what to do. Must I go and chill in the blazing sun just so I can continue to record a video using Sam Smith's song? 'Cause I don't know when all this stuff started. It's a feeling much too heavy and much too strong. And can I get a new phone today from heaven? Because I don't want to work with these malfunctional devices tonight. Yazini King again. I'm gonna innovate, okay? We must just sit over there. I must figure out how to do this. Where am I going to find the extension cord? Let me go find an extension cord in the house. And then I'll move to the vehicle and see if it works. 'Cause I can't keep on like this. It's troublesome. Woo! The fact that you saw my side view with all this acne, unhappy, and this bad wig, entirely unhappy. I'ma try and find a way around this. Just you wait. Just you wait. Just you chill. I am gonna find another way. Lord, I gotta find another way. Okay. What if I just tried to finish this entire conversation on this phone with the speech lag, and then later try to figure out what to do from tomorrow? And tomorrow will be a better day for recording when I finally find a way around this. Tomorrow I'll have a better workaround. Until then, I guess we die a slow death. I don't want to die a slow death. I want to die a fast death. If anything, better yet, I don't want to die. How about I just get raptured in the sky? Yeah. I have to record on the same phone because, like, really, frankly, sound is different. It matters. It matters. How does it matter? It just does. Oh, For real? Guys, I gotta try and get this message out real quick. I gotta make it fast. I gotta make it swagtastic. Why is there no swagger in my life? Where did my swagger go? Where shall I find the swagger? People took my swagger. You make me want to throw my pager out the window because you are just not loving. Sell my house so I can move because you a bugaboo, a bugaboo. I got problems, you guys. I got problems. Where the swagger? Where shall I go to hide from the problem? What shall I do? Oh, exactly. Oh, what must I do with this ridiculousness situation trying to lay me down? Would you recognize I am angry because I can't record in peace? Do you recognize it's a nasty thing you're doing to me? What would you do if you were made a slave of witches boiling inside? Let's get to the point. Maybe, you know what, I've been talking for like 3 minutes. I'll keep talking in 5-minute intervals and save. 5-minute intervals and save. 5-minute intervals so I don't lose all my content. So I don't lose. I don't want to lose my content because it's my content to keep. Oh. Hey, make that 3 minutes. You know, everything in my life is just so hard. Now I've got a speech lag. Why I gotta live such a hard knock life? What'd I ever do to you? Did I ever mess with your hair? What'd I ever do to you? Did I ever mess with your skin? What'd I ever do to you? Did I ever mess with your swagger? But everybody out here in these streets taking away my swagger, making me rock the same vest every single day. Why does summer gotta be here? Why I gotta deal with the summer? I don't like to deal with the summer. I'm not digging all of this summer. I don't like all of this summer. Somebody take the summer away and bring me back the winter. No ventilation, gashi sanje 24 hours a day is so hot. What shall I do with all this heat? It's not impressive. I can't even carry on talking because I'm thinking. Wow. Anyway, let's talk about these deadbeat ex-boyfriends, and the deadbeat ex-friends. Let's have a conversation. Maybe just convert it into a musical, because then you'll feel a little bit better about yourself when everything falls apart. Ooh! Did you catch the burp even with the speech lag? I mean, look at my lips. Oh! Ah! Eh! E! Oh! Ooze, 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 ooze! Ish. Y'all, I got some issues. How many of you have the same issues? Who in the world likes to have so many issues in a day? I don't like my issues. Father in heaven, stop my issues. Why do I gotta have all these issues? Look at this, eh? Speech lag. Speech lag. No, we is gonna find a work around these. We is gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way. The way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is the way. Oh, Lord, grant me an idea so I can speak without there being an issue with the speech lag. I got issues. There's no one in the house. Yeah, today. Tomorrow there gonna be some people. For the sake of finishing this particular message, oh, where shall I go to speak my message? Why don't I have my message? What did I ever do to you to have you take my message? Yeah, This is what I wanted to say. I've put my phone chilling there now. Maybe if I don't move my phone, there'll be less of a lag. I don't know what to do anymore. What did I ever do to deserve all this? When did this ever become my life? What did I ever do to deserve so much pain? Maybe if I just speak like this, the phone will have mercy on me because my face has been squished. What did I ever do to deserve such a squishy face? I don't want to be with an ex-boyfriend that couldn't love me when I was in his life, okay? I also don't want to be with a friend that didn't love me when I was in her life, okay? So what would you do with all these broken hearts streaming inside your vibes? No. Whoa. Guys, wow, look, my voice is coming out different. Cause I've puckered my lip, look. What would you do if I kissed you? What would you do if I held your hand and laid you down? Would you recognize? Yeah, would you find it all very familiar towards you? Would you call me insensitive and say that I deserve to die? What would you do with all these feelings holding me back inside? What would you do with all these wasted hours dreaming of you and I? I'd like you to call me sometime. I'd like you to need me one time. I'd like you to love me, whatever, all the time. Oh, I would like to call you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How in the world does my voice change just because I do that? Guys, I have to find another way to record. I'm unsatisfied. I want to finish this message in this mode because I just want to use my iPhone because it makes a big difference. Like, the two phones have different sounds that come out of them. When it comes to silence detection, they use different parameters, so I have to keep talking here. As long as the audio is hearable, guys, I'm just gonna finish this message on my iPhone and then try and find a strategy. Tomorrow you'll know what I did, okay? Tomorrow, immediately when I'm done here, I'm going to try and find a workaround. Okay, luister julle. Let's go back to what we were talking about before I got cut. Anyway, but I was recording on my iPhone, so that helped. But you saw a profile view, and well, my wig is looking really shoddy at the back, and that was not kosher. Like, you should not have seen that. I was hoping that we wouldn't have to resort to that, but that's exactly what we did. That's exactly what we did. That's exactly what we did. Na, 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 na. At some point you had the lady Chica in your life, didn't you? At some point she wanted to be loved by you. At some point she was like, baby, we're doing this from now to eternity. At some point she only stared you longingly and lovingly in the eye. At some point, only you were the apple of her eye. Why didn't you do something better then? Why didn't you do something right then? Why didn't you achieve a better thing then? Why are you trying to come back a good 12 years later? After putting her in a casket, the lady, she is dying. She is ceasing to exist. There is breath exiting the lungs of the lady. She is facing death at your hands. But at some point she was staring longingly into the loving eyes of a rando. How am I supposed to appreciate that you want to love me now? I don't want to be loved by you. I don't want to be held by you because you failed abysmally. 12 years ago, brother, you failed abysmally. 12 years ago, sister, you failed abysmally. A year and a half ago, brother, from America, you was a witch. That means the one in America was just nonsense. I don't know why I settled for him. Twice married, some kids out here in these streets that he's not taking care of, lover of voodoo, ex-convict. Like, that never would have worked. But my ex-boyfriend, you had me. If at some point you would have proposed to me, I would have been like, Dalangi lindi lengi funa wena wetwa. I got this answer for you, my baby. I do gavuma. I do gavuma. I do gavuma. I would have done that. Would have walked down the aisle to a gangster on Twitter. So, I mean, like, properly. You had your chance. You had your cake. You didn't eat it. So, booyah! I'm a goner now. You had back then. And when you say, no, this was the foolery of youth. This was the idiotness of youth. That's what made me do that. You see, when I put this phone here, it, like, is a little bit more stable. That's what's good. But, like, you know, lighting conditions really suck. It's so hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So hot. So, Tana, don't take off the clothes. Okay. You grabbed a lady and you put her in squalor. You grabbed a lady and you put her in shambles, or at least you think you put her in shambles. Me, I belong to Jesus, so nobody can really go and put me in shambles. But, like, you've been given a strong delusion to believe that I'm in shambles that you put me in. I think that's a little bit better. Guys, y'all gonna have to just deal with the speech lag. Herein lies the deal, okay? You had me once upon a time. I was yours to keep. I was the lady upon proposing to was said yes in a bleep. So now you're all randomly sorrowful having married a Jezebel. What am I supposed to do with you? You're the scraps that once were new, so no thank you. I'm gonna survive. I'm not that shaky little damsel wanting to fall in love with anything. I'm a changed woman now. The Lord came and set me free. So now I don't just jola out here in these streets so randomly. Hey. There was once upon a time in my life when I used to date just because it was so much fun. Oh, I'm going to say, look, somebody like me, he looks a little bit cute, so I'll date him. Okay, so there's a little bit of something about him that's off, but it does not matter. We'll switch it on because I am a panel beater and I'm going to fix it. Really? I used to date like that. I just wanted to be in a relationship. I romanticized the prospect of romance. Yeah, and that's why I ended up with some deadbeat randos. That's what's good. And now those randos are both in friends and also males, alright? Like former boyfriends, etc. They want to come back. I don't know, like, I keep saying with the boyfriends, like, you can have 10 friends, you can have 20 friends, but you can't have 2 husbands. Not anyway, honorably. Unless you're in America and there's all different kinds of sexualities that are just allowable to go out here in these streets, and you can marry like 10,000 husbands and like wives, and everybody's in a relationship and it's one big fat chunky orgy. Yeah, but this is not America. This is Africa. Let us save that content. In America, people can marry cows and chickens, but not in South Africa, okay? That at least they still got right. That's what's good. So since we are here, I'm not trying to marry an animal. Mamela, listen up, okay? If you can be as violently immature and at the age of 41 as you were at the age of 26, it evidences that there never would have been a change. I met another my boyfriend in this like filthy American man, and he just pulled exactly the same stance. Like, it wasn't broken, try to fix it. I was already a born again Christian, out here talking Christianese on the rooftops, and then he still bewitched the living daylights out of me. So I mean, you had to have known it was wrong. When you walk into the hut of a sangoma and you're busy trying to force your girlfriend to stay with you, girl ain't got no freedom on that day. It's no longer love. Now it is a hostage situation. And I was a hostage of my ex-boyfriend for, out of the 5 years we were together, about 3. I was a hostage. Because only busy. He was busy with witchcraft. When you go and you grab a woman that loved you with all of her heart, okay, and would have done anything for you, was staring deeply into your eyes and your eyes only, was not looking at anybody else, was properly trying to be proposed to marriage by you, and then you just go and you slap her with so sorry, Desa made the lady chica, and then act a fool afterwards, arrogant, pretending as if though this is not mistaken, this thing that you're doing. A woman that you absolutely love, that you're acting you don't love, like you don't love anymore because you are manipulating her with spurts. Now you're gaslighting her. Now you are passing her shade, giving her reverse psychology. Now you are literally a figment of the imagination in comparison to what you used to be in the beginning of the relationship. You're no longer as loving. You are taking stuff for granted. You are no longer as caring. You are no longer as doting. You are just gliding through because you trust witchcraft to do everything for you. What am I gonna do with a man like that realizes that it wasn't broken but he tried to fix it, that realizes that he took literally 5,000 years too long to propose marriage, and now the woman that he should have married, he had her, like you had her, she was in your grasp, for crying out loud, wants nothing to do with him, but you're busy singing her I'd like to call you sometime. I would shut up. Whoa, no, stay gone. I keep getting dreams of like tens because they think they're Jesus all up in my life, like people trying, precisely because I'm still in squala, precisely because I'm still suffering, precisely because I'm still going through its air. They're like, I mean, if I come in and I do a better thing when she's going through a lot, she'll accommodate me. So you put me in a jail cell, you put me in some kind of a cave and you lock it up, you put boulders on the front of this cave so I can't ever get out. And then you, upon roaming the mountainous area around the cave, realize I'm freaking lonely. I don't have real friends. Everybody else is a gorilla like me. Everybody else is freaking King Kong. Like, nobody here's human. Yeah, some kind of a semblance of looking like a human being, but you're frankly just like a beast, an ape, a primate of sorts. And I want a human being. I want to cuddle with somebody that has real feelings, real emotions. I want somebody that I know for a fact is not a little zombie walking around. I want a friend that I know for a fact I want a husband, I want a wife, I want someone that I can trust because I have tested an hypothesis. Liseras, that much disrespect, how you gonna go this word? So much Delarizationing. You're like the 90s Bogati Delela. Let me save this. Like, people thoroughly, I'm sorry, there's gonna be a speech lag, guys. I've got issues with recording right now, right? People thoroughly imagine, they envisage, they anticipate, they think very deeply in their orifices of thought. That once they have tested something true, only then can they treat it well. Yeah, well, you literally put a woman by attrition in a lot of sorrow, and she never cast a single spell back on any of you. She never came back with like revenge witchcraft, another flying kick coming at you. It go beyond what you already are, Escobo. Yeah, there is one person that they all collectively know that definitely does not practice witchcraft. They live in a world that they're uncertain of, like their entire ecosystems. They are uncertain as to who has done what to them. They are paranoid schizophrenic like no man's business. Okay, I apologize for the speech lag. They are paranoid schizophrenic from here to Timbuktu because of the fact that they don't trust anyone, due to the fact that they in and of themselves are untrustworthy. They are untrustworthy. And so because they are untrustworthy, they think that, I mean, since they, human beings tend to elevate themselves, they tend to imagine themselves as excellent and stellar. So when this human individual that imagines themselves as stellar leaves a lot to be desired in terms of character, then of course, given that you tend to think you're better than everybody else, especially when you do witchcraft, when then the standard of grandiosity, the standard of excellence is you will realize just how tarnished this world is. So you will not trust anyone. You will imagine everyone is an even worse off version of you. If at all you could have capitulated to afflicting your best friend and your cousin and the cheap next door neighbor's cat. If you could have bewitched them, then you can trust that that cat, that best friend, and that cousin might one day just also be like you. Until you observe a woman living for 12 years in Christ, suffering, refusing to touch even a single sangoma's hand, refusing to touch a single consultation session, refusing, waiting on Christ, allowing all doors that allegedly apparently were shut on her to stay shut, because she is not about to open a door. She's not about to go and open a door with the devil's keys. A woman that has done nothing but sit around and wait for Jesus and Jesus only. They who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will walk and not faint. They will run and not grow weary. Or they will run and not grow weary. Or walk and not go faint. Or whatever. Yeah, you get my point. That particular passage, Isaiah 40:31. She has waited on the Lord and been renewed in her strength. And now you want her. Now you want her. Why? Because she is the purity that you lost. She is the character virtue that you lost. She is the best friend that you wish you were. She is the woman that you wish you stayed with. She is the girl that would have stayed thick as thieves with you. The ride or die that would never have stabbed you in the back. The woman on and ever, no matter how frustrated she was with you, the woman that would have never gone to a sangoma on you because she was vengeful against what you did to her. The woman that would never have cheated on you. The woman that also, upon you cheating on her, would never have held you hostage with witchcraft, so you will never do it again. She would have been the woman that would have just done things naturally, gone to therapy if she insisted on staying with you, prayed about it, but never cast a spell on anything. That's what these animals have discovered. They found out through their own character flaws that the world cannot be trusted. Look at you go. Discovering that the world cannot be trusted because of your character flaws. So therefore you just paste and blanket paint. And when then you look at somebody operating in a vacuum because you've locked them in chains for years, still refuse to consult with your demon-possessed sangomas. Now you want her because she's the only one that can be trusted. You live out there like a beast, like your grod in the flesh, living in gorilla kingdom in Africa. Everybody around you is a primate, operating on nothing but basic instincts. Can't trust nobody. Left and right, up and down. Wonkumuntu could be a thief. Stop a thief. You don't know until you meet someone that you can definitely prove absolutely has not ever touched the stuff. Lingetse, this Satan, you have married men that have listed you like no man's business, and you have married women that have held you hostage, and then you can't prove it. Or maybe you can. You keep visiting Amasangoma wondering, did my wife put something on me? Because you are such a rubbish. You go and you find out if your wife has been a rubbish against you. And then Sangoma goes and picks out her occult paraphernalia, identifies that your wife your man parts, so you don't cheat. And then you get all angry, and instead of confronting her, since you also listen at her, you then go and you lambaste her with countering witchcraft. No, Genjafela, it's just a cosmic war in marriages, cosmic war in friendships. Your friend has cast spells on you because you found out through a sangoma, and instead of leaving that relationship, you stick in it because you know you're also a perpetrator. And so you protect yourself with a covering spell, and then you lambaste your friend, you try to cancel your friend's witchcraft, and then somewhere in your orifices, in that Dumbo brain of yours, you remember that Karabo used to be one of your tight chicks. She was one of your lady chicas. She was one of your friends, like as in thick as thieves, about bomba best. Yeah. There was a time when you used to roam these streets painting the town freaking red with Karabo. That's what's good. And you can definitely prove that she would never do that to you. And now with your grubby paws, Grod, the gorilla, you want to come into the life of a whole human being because you think you're King Kong and you can live with the woman you have a crush on, for crying out loud, even though she's a human being. What is this? Beauty and the Beast. Is that what we're doing? I can show you the world. No, it's a gay. Because how am I supposed to lay with a beast on that day? That's called bestiality. How am I supposed to hang out and have dinner with a beast? How? I'm sorry. Beauty and the Beast is a fairy tale, and this here is real life. I'm not about to go and hang out with animals. That's what's good. You bewitch a scheme song bako. And then when you find out that one of your friends does not touch this rubbish, then you want her as your friend again. Okay. All of my scheme from high school put witchcraft on me. So they can't trust each other, but they can definitely trust me. Must understand bugaboos be trying to knock on a sister door. You make me want to throw my pager out the window. Don't do. Sell my house so I can move, cause you a bugaboo, a bugaboo. That's what's good. You had me at some point as your friend, did not appreciate me. Fine, you might want to blame the wiles of youth, but how do you account for this little filthy animal in America that was 41 when he cast a spell on me? He had already experienced life, he had already made lots of mistakes, and he did not even try to hold on to a gem he found. He could not keep himself in a bunch. He could not exercise restraint or self-control after making so many mistakes that by now he should have been a bigger man. By now he should have been a better man. He messed up in marriage 1, messed up in marriage 2, did not raise some of the children that he helped create. So I mean, when a man has that many regrets, you would imagine that when he finally finds a red jewel just sitting around in Africa, naive enough, willing to go and marry an ex-con, that's what's good. That he would, like we're saying, tread light. Ooh, you would imagine that he would be careful. Instead, he messed up from the very get-go. Almost from the get-go. He slapped me with witchcraft. He slapped me with, you're not going to be with anybody else. I'm going to be the only one taking care of you. I am going to be the only one loving you from the get-go. This man, everything I would say, he would bewitch it. At some point, I was talking about making more friends on Facebook, and he bewitched that prospect, and those people stopped befriending me. I said I was going to grow on YouTube, that went frozen. He bewitched everything from the get-go, because he's always just been that thing. So since since you're such big witches, understand, now you're going to bewitch me so that I never make any other friend but you. Now you're going to bewitch me so that I never meet anybody else but you, because your character is so tarnished that the fear of losing the only person with any real remaining virtue in your life, you are going to keep them in your life by force. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. You have never acquired it. You have walked around as lackluster and futile in your indiscretion from youth, and you have so sought the face of the devil and not of God. All throughout impilo yako, gathering for yourself a great number of teachers to teach you what your itching ears want to hear. You have chosen darkness instead of the light, even though the invisible qualities of God were all over creation, warning you. So too was your conscience. But no, you had to be number one. And now that you're sick and tired of these fluffy relationships in a gorilla kingdom, fluffy relationships that don't make any sense, in a kingdom full of primates grunting, eat, drink. Now that you want real fellowship with real human beings that won't betray you, spiritual means you can't even see, and then sit with you at dinner the next day and call you skoni, mganwa munjan. What? Now that you want better than that, bigger than that, you're busy trying to come into my life. I've had dreams of this one friend that used to be this one girl that I was really tight with, that was a fashion designer. All up in my grill in this dream, where I'm still in the squalor, but now she's like all up in my face. She's like mine now again, as in. And my ex-boyfriend, the one that passed away, me making out with him, accommodating people that don't know Jesus, but that know for a fact that I don't do none of that rubbish, and that's what they appreciate about me. But what's in my space? When I'm a child of God, the Bible makes it clear, don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. They don't want Jesus. They just want a place they can trust, an environment where they can lean on someone for real, and they're not going to stab them in the back. They're not going to betray them. A recorda ka phone e sa sebetseng mo mokhukhung o tshesang o etsang sure di phone tsa gagwe di sebetsa ha o keta mo batla go tlhakela yo ai. It eventually catches up with you, this witchcraft, and then you become super mean to people who want nothing to do with you. When I was perhaps 21, my cousin, my baby cousin, who was 4 years younger than me, was in high school, and she had this A student friend that was dating some has-been that used to be a TV presenter on one of our kiddies shows in South Africa. And this guy was now a pothead, a junkie, right? He had lost everything. He's just basically a person that used to have lots of fame with the ladies, lots of fame with the country at large. They loved him. He was the nation's darling. And then he fell apart because he fell into drugs. And now that he was older than me, even maybe like 24, 25. Now that he was a 25-year-old that had nothing in life to show for his age, all he could do was date high school girls that could only see the former YoTV presenter. That's what's good. Yeah, so this dude fished out a gorgeous A student from a high school that was naive, met at a party, fell in love with him, and then they started fornicating. This A student, future star of the country, went on right ahead at the age of like 16 or 17 or whatever to fall pregnant right there in high school by some 25-year-old animal. I think she was like 17, could not sue for statutory rape already by then. She was out of the age of consent. That's what's good. When that girl fell pregnant and my cousin came and told me, oh, my friend Umganwam, let's say her name was Pinky. Oh my goodness, Pinky is pregnant by, let's say the guy's name was Tabs. Pinky fell pregnant by Tabs. I remember just thinking, what? But that's the friend of yours, the one in the whole crew of girls that's always just slaying the A's in school, right? The one that's taking the hard subjects? Yeah. She's pregnant? Really? At 17 by some 25-year-old douchebag that the parents did not even like. She's a baby mama now, and that's something that she can never ever shake off. Of a deadbeat, even if they break up in the future. It's done. It's sealed. Went on to carry to term. The baby was cute and everything. She was also very beautiful. Very beautiful. Had this beautiful hair that grew like it was just this ravenous afro. This gorgeous, thick, rich black afro. She was just such a beautiful girl. And having everything going for her, she gave her entire future away to some has-been that had to indeed fish out a girl out of high school because women his age were not taking him seriously. I keep dreaming about that scenario happening in my life. I might not be a 17-year-old girl, but I've got a raw innocence, and I've also got a raw spiritual virginity that is being salivated after by have-been men who used to be famous back in their day. They were popular, but now they've fallen because they went and they took drugs. They went and they did they committed crimes and found themselves in prison, or they messed up, like got on right ahead to get infected with HIV. They became witches that bewitched everybody. They married Jezebels, and now they want a divorce because they can't stomach evil women, and they look at me as this untouched thing, this exotic gem that is pure, and they are salivating at me. All they can do is fish out women who are in squalor, in poverty, who are struggling, who have not yet seen the fullness of the glory that they could walk in, but there is so much that they have to hold on to. There is so much potential. Like this girl was this gorgeous, beautiful young girl who was an A student in school, and she fell pregnant at 17 by a has-been deadbeat that everybody frowned when she came back and said, I'm pregnant. That situation is pursuing me high and low. But unlike that 17-year-old girl, I'm not naive enough to go and date tabs. Anymore anyway. I did date one for like all of 5 seconds a year and a half ago. And today he is the bane of my existence and he's trying to kill me. Some loser, deadbeat dad, deadbeat ex-husband, deadbeat citizen of a country that can't stand him because he won't stop committing crimes. And he tried to come into the life of a raw virgin, virgin-like woman that has not been tarnished and put a baby in her stomach. All they want to do is just put babies inside the tummies of virgin-like women so that they can do what they've done all their lives, destroy. So that they can ransack the way that they've been ransacking all their lives. They used to have glory, but they squandered it, and now all they want is everything beautiful without it knowing that it bona ba bodile. They are rotten. I've got former friends and ex-boyfriends that want to come into impilo yam after destroying their futures. They ransacked their own lives. They bewitched every Tom, Dick, and Harry Archer in these streets. Can't trust anybody because in and of themselves they're witches, so they don't trust anybody. And then they find a person that doesn't dabble, that doesn't touch these things, that has never ever even seen a real life Ouija board, that has never consulted with a sangoma, a woman that has kept herself pure, people that have kept themselves pure, and they want to come in and they want to lodge their dirty bodies in your life because you're trustworthy, you're comfortable, you're cushy, you're a hammock. This is what I gotta say to these animals. King Kong, you sitting in a jungle as an animal trying to come into the life of a woman, beast trying to come into the life of beauty. This is what I have to say. The only reason you're so drawn to the purity of a person that's never done the filthy stuff you've done is because you want Jesus. However, you're not interested in Jesus. You just want to have your bread buttered on both sides and have your cake and eat it too. You want something pure, but you don't want to have to be pure. You want something good in your life, but you don't want to have to be good. You want to have your bread buttered on both sides. If you want the purity you used to have, the only way to find it is in Christ. So you are only drawn to his servant to a point of bewitching the crap out of her until she accepts you in hers because you want Jesus. But if you don't want to go to Jesus or reprobate, it's a gay, but you're definitely not getting me. And I'm also not trapped by you. Men and women alike that have put witchcraft on me. I'm not trapped by you. I am not kept in this position because you know the best witchcraft in town, because you have consulted the best sangoma. I am here as a lesson that Christ saw it fit to make me to people baratang utsuwa matekwane other occult. I am a monument, a monolith. I am a lesson. I am an example that has been made out of witches. I am the thing that is toppling tables. The money changers. You know what Jesus did at the temple? That work, metaphorically, Christians are doing it across the world, where they're toppling tables because people have gone in and grabbed the house of God and made it a den full of demons when it's supposed to be a house of prayer. So he topples changes where the money changers are at tables and vandalizes an environment because people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing with the temple of the Holy Spirit, the body of God that he gave you in his image to live out a life that honors him from birth to death. Gave you the gospel, said be born again, and then you made a decision when you tagata wonke umuntu la emgaqweni because you greed. Shit. I am incredibly disquieted by my new recording conditions, but it's fine. I'll live, I'll survive. I'll make it to another day. I'll find an extension cord and I'll record outside where it's cooler in my car. And then I'll come back inside here and upload my content. That's what's good. Get like Graile extension cord It's going to be challenging on days when it's raining, but on days when it's raining, it's going to be cooler, so I can record inside. So yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I'll find a way around. I'll find a workaround, you guys, because that's just what I do. I find a way to work around the sorrow of my uncomfortable, restricted life that has been left in this state by people that after 10 years in Lulile, 8 years, 5, after 12 years has progressed, they now wake up sleeping next to a Jezebel wife, and they then want to slap a divorce and come and marry me, making me a home wrecker, making me the kind of woman who shy umfazi ngestina. I'm sorry. Jezebel wahao. You deserve each other. La loyana. Last night when I was working out, I had a flash vision of one of the guys that I was flirting with. We never ended up doing anything though, because he was a witch. His wife, the woman that he eventually married, he married her because she hooked him with witchcraft and buried me in the ground so that he would not look at me anymore. He was angry at the woman that he married for trapping me so he can't see me properly. In my little vision, he was mad that the woman he married made sure he can't finish what he started with me. But dude, you, at the time of meeting that little Jezebel, was busy bewitching, never mind me only, but other women in the office at MTN that you had a bone to pick with, that you were flirting with. You were a guy that was all over the show. You were climbing, you were crawling up walls like a freaking lizard, all over, already. So you frankly met in the little jungle that you were operating in another beast. You met a Delilah precisely because you were a beast. You were in and of yourself incontinent. Slapping people with poison darts all over the show. So somebody with a poison dart saw you from the behind looking like a fine brother and was like, I want to marry him. Put a dart in your booty. You then fell in love with what you imagine is the wrong woman, but frankly that is a match made in hell. It was a perfect match. Lenyetsi this Satan because it is Satan. So Kifilankara, really, if you want to clean up that ecosystem, men, make like exactly what the Lord has set you apart to be. Train your women to be like Karabo. Make them godly. Lead them in the way of righteousness. But first you have to repent. Put your Jezebel mara skotolo le ba gotle ka that pumice stone and just le ba gotle. Ore le saga la di orange. You know that scrubbing saga that we used to use as children growing up to clean our bodies as a makeshift vaslapa that they used to put oranges in. Yeah. Put your girl in a bathtub, hook up a little bit of Dettol, like squeeze out some soap. These calloused feet. Manala. That grime from underneath them. Wash your women. Clean these dirty Jezebels you married and leave me alone. Di Delilah tsa lona, tsa mo gotlang di Jezebel di Penina tsa lona, tsa mo gotlang your evil women. Make them clean and leave a woman that has been waiting on the Lord for a better thing alone. Ntlogeleng. Kemetse Jesu. Ha little gena mo bophelong ba ka bash into my door and impregnate me because you have fetishized the prospect of making the virgin girl pregnant. You have fetishized the prospect of being the first man after a woman has been celibate for 12 years to hit a home run and slam dunk into her. You fetishize the prospect of being the first manhood to enter my body after over a decade. And so I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the one to get rid of that proverbial spiritual hymen. This woman that has not seen any man for 12 years, I'm going to be the one to have her first. That is a fetish. It's a fetish. That is not love. That is competition. That is trying to conquer. That is trying to make like indeed a gorilla on a mountaintop bashing your chest above other gorillas and say, I'm the one that slam dunked that. Imagine, 12 years go fail on the Lord. And then a man, a filthy, fetishistic, like disgusting creature of that nature, then comes in and congratulates himself like holding a plaque up in front of other men and says to them, I slept with her after she was, what is this, a celibate for 12 whole years. Hear me. I'm the one after the last ex-boyfriend to get her. Oh, and the ex-boyfriend of which also wants to divorce his wife to come back into my life. Imagine if he came back. He would have literally been able to say to his boys, I held a hostage for 12 years kaofela, ka senya ka ravasa ka rampage strata se kaofela. Ka ba a menace for 12 years yonke. And then I was like, I want Karabo back, and then I opened the cage that I had put her in. I opened the cage that I had put her in, and then I slept with her again. So last man that she slept with was me. 12 years yonke yandlula, then I rock up again, pretend I'm Christian. And then, however, in that time, that 12-year season, I sleep with a whole bunch of women, including the woman that I married. That was the bane of her existence when we were dating, because he used to cheat on me with her. Divorced her, and then came back, and Karabo having never been touched by another man ever since him. He then goes back and again, like good old-fashioned, like old times, eh? Like old times. I don't cheat on you, but you get to have my body after you sleep with another girl. That's what's good. Exactly the same thing just now. The gap in between him cheating and him sleeping with me is 12 whole years. 12 years. I mean, just the audacity to even imagine that as a feasible eventuality for how this whole thing ends. Yes, like it. It would have been like I kept myself pure for him. Like I just decided and just felt like, do like, yeah, man, abe sober. Hey? Yeah. He's going to eventually get himself in a bunch and think straight again. And then I'll be like, but baby, why did you do that though? You hurt me so much, but it's okay. I'm still nice and clean and fresh for you. When you and I met, none of us had children. None of us had ever been married. Literally, we all had a clean slate. But now you're a divorcee with some kids. And I still have never been married, never had children. But you know, whatever. It's water under the bridge. It's water under the bridge. When I was supposed to be first wife and only baby mama. But no, now I'm baby mama number 2 or 3, depending on how many he's had out here. Wako America, he's worse. He's got like two ex-wives, some kids he's not taking care of. He's like Nick Cannon. And then he wants to rock up and just, plant another baby in my stomach, and over and above it, just give me HIV while he's at it. Yeah. That's what is literally standing outside of my door trying to come in. And people think God is just going to let that slide. You're so naive, guys. You're sitting on a cactus, having your booty punched holes into by the thorns. Yeah. Naive. Women and men alike. This is not just ex-boyfriends. I had a friend that God showed me in a dream also desires to come back. Oh, and another person that God has been showing me trying to come back into my life. It's like he was your brother. And you decided to believe him. And you hurt me even though you knew I was innocent. And I was ride or die to an animal that I frankly should have left much too early. And now you wish that you still had a bonded relationship with me even though you knew I was innocent. But you listened to the lies of your brother, my ex's younger sister. I keep dreaming about her. Literally knocking on my door trying to fellowship with me, and I'm like, girl, the betrayal, I'm sorry. You knew your brother was a little thief. You also knew that your brother didn't make sense. You knew the stories of your brother stealing money from me. You also knew your brother didn't make, like, literally, you and your mother were always trying to talk to your brother, my boyfriend. Hey, stop messing up with Karabo, you're gonna lose her. And then when he did finally once and for all lose her and turn her life over to Jesus Christ, you believed the lies he told you that I went crazy, and then you embraced the woman that was the bane of my existence as iskoni sakho mthathe iskoni sakho hambe uyobloma naso. Let her go and give you younger sister ga ex-boyfriend yam. Let her go and give you pearls of wisdom and talk to you and help you grow into a nice strong woman that is not doing dumb things with dumb boys. Dumb things with dumb boys. Something that you did because I broke up with your brother, and now you did not have me anymore as a voice of reason. And now you want to come back after betraying me by taking the side of your obviously lost my age, yalla. I mean, the level of betrayal is just on another scale. I have to stop recording now because this phone is giving me problems, I'm gonna find a workaround, the other phone that doesn't give me problems when I record. But understand this. People from the past, do yourselves a favor and love Jesus. Do yourselves a favor and turn to the Lord and forget about me. I'm not coming back into any of y'all's lives ever again. And especially the exes, it's like, who among you exactly is gonna win? Who among you is gonna get the girl? Because you all keep fighting for me. I mean, the American guy is literally in a deadlock competition with my ex-boyfriend of 5 years. You're trying. And then there are like random strangers. None of you are gonna win. Give your lives to Christ. That is the only advice I can give you. But as for me, you have made out of me an idol because of the fact that you rather worship the prospect of having me back in your lives, and so having no one to stab you in the back, rather than choose Jesus. That makes me an idol for you. And I refuse, rather, to be used as an idol against my God. It's like literally bowing down and worshiping angels, and angels then tell you, don't worship me, worship God. I am only a messenger. That's all I am. You have converted the prospect, or you have romanticized the prospect of a prisoner, you incarcerated, forgiving you. Never mind forgiving you, but also acting like nothing ever happened, when you have no interest even in that prisoner's God that kept her in a bunch. The Lord is the reason I'm in this position, not you. But the fact that all throughout these years you didn't do a better thing is why the Lord has handed you over to a reprobate mind. You could have done better. You knew you were rubbish. Your guilt presently is precisely because you didn't expect that my life would be this bad, and now you're looking back around, you see that I'm still in squalor, and you want to squeeze back in. Your guilt is not going to do anything for you. Repent, give your life to Christ, embrace the limp of Jacob. And like I said, to the men married to these Jezebel women that they're angry at, now you have a responsibility to clean your wives. You have a responsibility to evangelize children and women. It is the job that God has given you. So if you are unhappy and not in love anymore with your Jezebel, well, I mean, you made your bed, lie in it. And if you want to divorce them, understand you can't remarry. You who loves to tlofo all over the show, all you can do is fornicate to a point of cheating with 2 different women in 1 week against your wife. You can't carry on anymore and still be safe in the sight of Christ. And neither is masturbation allowable in the kingdom of heaven. So you are better off lelonka di pumice brush, lelonka di kirpot, lo khotla di basadi ba lona ba bodileng. You're wicked women. Your little Jezebel, the Jezebel lona tsa mo di khotlang, tsa mo di tlhatswang. Go and put them through water, but first you gotta bathe yourselves. That's the thing. First you gotta wash, be clean, and then wash your filthy females. I am not here for the taking by the has-beens, the ex. I'm not that girl. First of all, I'm not even getting married. However, even if I were to get married on this side, you must understand my husband, just like me, is a man with a clean slate. Never been married, never had kids. Angizothathwa mina ke second best, the scraps, the khwapa, tsa banna ba kgale that realize they messed up with me. It does not work that way. It just literally doesn't. Oh, has been Mr. Popular. Go to your Jezebel. Wash the feet of the filthy female that can't help but bewitch the chomizachache. And if at all this woman doesn't want to stop glissering you, then it is what it is. That's the thorn in your flesh. Deal with the fact that you're married to a spiritual harlot. And I again, it's always anything different. But as for me, I lost my ain't. You made your bed, lie in it. You don't get to rock up in the life of a pure woman and do a filthy thing in her life and then use me as a plaque or some badge of honor, some trophy to prove to other people that you're so strong, you're so good as an ape in the wild, that you were able to successfully kidnap a human being as a beast, and then as beast marry beauty. You properly prosper to grab a Christian woman and make out of her one who is fornicating with animals. Olo pride yourself ka tabaro o tsene o nyetse mosadi ona sa batleng next ka monna o nang le ex-wife o sa batleng next like papa. You would have been the one to unconvince a woman. This dude in America, for instance, he rocked up in my space when I already had conviction about divorce and remarriage, and I was accommodating him, literally ignoring my own convictions. So he would have prided himself among his brotherhood of fellow misogynists and chauvinists that I prospered to convince a woman that had never been married, never had children, to marry a man with 2 divorces and a whole bunch of kids, some of whom he's not even taking care of. And I've not only married her, but I put baby number 7, 8, 9, 10 in her stomach. He would have prided himself in conquering a woman that for years other men just could not get to. Imagine being that after waiting on God for 12 years. after waiting on the Lord for 12 years for a husband, and in that 12 years, 9 of those years you've been severely persecuted, and then you end up married to Seboto, Sejwalo, that is going to speak about you like that to other men. Whatever, she thought she was fly, but I got her, I pinned her down, and now she don't say nothing. I handled her. A man that's literally in his little carcass of filthy fellow men cave, like randos, chanting, grunting in their misogyny, saying, all you need to do is put a woman in such a lowly position that she will eventually embrace anything. That's why when the moment he came in, he flew in with arrows. He flew in with darts. He flew in with isolation tactics. He flew in with lowliness tactics, with can't make her own money tactics. He flew in here already having told himself he's going to make me nothing, that I might rely on no one but him. So by the time he would have married me, I promise you, he was going to gloat to some misogynistic men in a cave, grunting like beasts. I won! And they would have all like freaking cheered. That's the level of filth and darkness that is. So, I mean, you can understand, therefore, why the Lord God Almighty, from the moment that this guy came into my space, the moment he was like, roofies. The Lord warned me, this guy has roofied you spiritually. He has put something in your drink. He has tranquilized your conviction. You have to snap out of it. And when I wouldn't snap out of it, God ripped him out of my life personally. He made him manifest so many demons that he treated me like trash. And that's what broke us up. Well, that was my lesson. I learned it. It's not happening again. Ain't no husband gonna put a baby in my stomach. Ain't no second, like, I'm not any man's second wife, third wife. I'm not any woman's bane of her existence. I'll go shopper. I'm not an Alicia Keys. I'm not an Angelina Jolie. I'm not a Gabrielle Union. I'm not gonna pride myself in being the glorious second or third wife of a man that left another woman sorrowful. I am not a, who is that girl? Wankulego, the one in South Africa where she even recorded a video saying, "Bon, like your jaw, like your happy," while this dude had like a whole wife, and everybody was celebrating her because she was a celebrity, and his wife was not a celebrity. His wife was not a celebrity. She was just a regular woman suffering at the hands of a popular actress in the country, celebrating being on holiday with another woman's husband. Kajola, bon! And everybody was like, "Oh, I'm so happy, Moloi." Thank you. Nah, not Moloi, Monachedi. Babi Monachedi. With that Nkulego guy. Where did that end up? He cheated on her too. After divorcing his wife with some doctor lady, and then went on right ahead to cheat on the doctor lady as well, because he was always just an animal. But at the height of her happiness with that guy, she was like, "Bon, Kajola, Humanati, yay." Where is she now? Where is she now? And guess whose reputation was reviled? Puppies. Not the guy. Ukuhlanga nje ukusangana. Pride in yourselves ukutshontsha amadoda. Next thing nenjale ikshiyile. And now you're the one that's crying. So now you can relate, unfortunately, with the wife. Now you're berated. I'm not gonna be that girl. I'm not gonna rejoice and celebrate while a little bit of a Jennifer Aniston is sorrowful because Brad Pitt went on right ahead to go into the sunset with Angelina Jolie. I'm not doing it. While the whole world celebrates Angelina. Same way that the whole world celebrated Alicia Keys. Same way the whole world celebrated Gabrielle Union. They literally celebrate the Jezebel, the mistress, the homewrecker. While another woman is writhing because people don't even support the pain that she is in because her husband is a thief and a monster that hurt her. People's sense of right and wrong is so warped now. Good is evil and evil is good. Things are upside down. Angizozipride mina ukutshontshela umuntu indoda. Ngoba lenja le izongilimaza nami just in the same way as ilimaze imedia yakhona. Umfazi wakhona. I am just another woman. These men that have no regard for females, that feel as if they're not wired to be faithful, you are just another woman to them. All it will take is for another one to rock up. This dude was already frustrated with my independent woman desires. This dude in America was already very frustrated with the way that I insisted I wanted to make my own money, the way I was trying so hard. Unabatla nje feel like throw her in the towel and embrace nje mina nakekelwa indoda yonke impilo yami. Literally allow myself to be taken care of by a man all my life when I've not known to be like that. Having grown up in a family of women only, mostly women, I was trained from very early to have my own back. And this man wanted to change that entire paradigm and just shift the way that I was wired. Because now he's wired to have a stay-at-home wife. So he was going to twitch and glitch and be irritated with me. And that desire. Indeed, it was me asking him a whole bunch of questions that annoyed him. A man that you don't even know how he's making his money when you're just happy to keep on buying the shoes. That wants to force his patriarchal manhood where he's the sole provider. He wants to force it. A woman is not gladly willing to be a stay-at-home wife, but he is making her one. He is insisting. That is not healthy. I have mad respect for stay-at-home wives and mothers, housewives, I really do. No issue with them at all. If anything, I would have been one. If at all, I was content to do that. But when a man insists that's what you are, that's not safe. It's not healthy. You are not safe as a woman in that space. That is a misogynist trying to drive a woman into oblivion. One that you're going to have to khotlela. You're going to have to just bear him with all of his insanity because you have nowhere to look. Nowhere to look. This guy on top of that was a wife beater. His exes, he used to beat them up. So whenever I would raise my big mouth, understand he was going to rend my face. He was going to put my face mostofong, said Shisang, and burn it. That's the kind of man that would have thrown me like a rag doll against walls. I would have been a battered wife in the worst way. He knew what he was. He knew how he enforced his misogyny in the life of a woman. He knew. And he was like, I'm going to take it. It's what I do. I've been abused before I've been abused, guys. I've been in an abusive relationship before I've been in one. Because I have had men come into my life forced to settle for the abuse, and when I pick it up early, they abuse me even when I'm not with them. I am being stalked now. Like no man's business gets held. Almost every day. That is like, it's my way or the highway because I'm Frank Sinatra. I have met some monsters in my life. So I'm a woman that has PTSD from simply almost being in an abusive relationship. Can you imagine that? When your trauma is not even from the actual abuse, but from what could have been. And it keeps pursuing me. Men who insist that I'm going to get this and work like dogs to make it work, and when then they learn about witchcraft, they then go on right ahead to dabble with that crap. Just monsters. And they want to come and marry the best women in the city because they know they would never get them the honest way. They could never, ever win a woman because they lack any honest bone in their bodies. That's what's good. And then they have the brazen audacity to be upset when they find themselves, unbeknownst to themselves, married to Jezebels. When they marry them, they hope they're good girls, but then they realize their wives are super freaking evil. And then they hate their wives for being evil when in and of themselves they're evil. So frankly, like I said, it's a match made in hell. You deserve each other. When you marry a Jezebel, a wicked woman that can't do anything right, bewitches one of the types of women that give everybody attitude, including the man's family. She's not even trying to kiss behind. She's not even trying to impress the mom. She's not even trying to impress the dad. She's not even trying to basically have the cousins like her. Like, you have to want your man's family to love you. There are women who have so much attitude and they have got so much entitlement that when they rock up in the man's family and among the man's boys, they act like they're queens that ought to be worshipped, and they don't even try to put their best foot forward so the guys can like them, so the family can like them. If anything, Justin Bieber has a song of that nature, complaining about a woman like that. My mama don't like you and she likes everyone. Yeah, the kind of woman that comes into a man's life and doesn't even try to get the man's friends to like her. Like Adi Brai, she's like, I don't cook, I don't break a nail. Like, if you are not trying to impress your man's entire entourage, you are a ticking time bomb. And then they get upset when they marry women like these, whose mothers don't like them, even though mothers like everybody. They get upset. And then next thing they want to rock up and marry the woman that the mother would have just embraced. Yeah, you then try and get that kind of wife in your life. After you have married the Jezebel that already you had gut feelings or you were crawling up a wall. Every guy was like, dude, are you sure? Boy, sure. Are you sure you want to marry this woman? And then you're like, I'm in love, really? Kind of woman that don't nobody like, not a single cousin, not a single uncle, not a single niece, not a single nephew. Ain't nobody feeling this chick like proper, and you marry her. Again, Chandu. Tamai, when Romeo, Juliet Wahau. Tamai, Mara, don't come back to Karabo afterwards, despite having been warned by your entire caucus of similarly misogynistic friends. Like, you know, a woman sucks When even the flagrant misogynist that constant, like every woman, when even like men who leave a lot to be desired have something negative to say about the woman you're with, like you've literally got some disgusting monster in your hands, and then you walk down the aisle. Nala, I think a couple of years down the line, dog. You've made your mistakes. You deserve your Jezebels. Your mother's instincts, you ignored them. When your mother was like, you ignored her. You ignored her, my ex-boyfriend. He ignored his sister. He ignored his mother. He ignored his aunties. That everybody was just looking at on some usirasi anyway. After slam dunking into multiple lady parts throughout the season of our breakup, as a second wife, when I was made in the woman that was trying to shapa me when we were dating, for real, like so much craziness, guys, so much craziness. Like that level of insanity in one ecosystem, guys. How? Sure. A man like that, when he bags you, when he comes into your life, understand he will become abusive, even if it's not physically. Passive aggressively, he will hurt you. I don't think my ex-boyfriend would have ever laid a hand on me, but he definitely would have been passive aggressive. This guy from America, however, like I said, he would have put my face on a burning stove. He was the kind of man to do that. But this time around, I was not going to get out of there. I was either going to be severely scarred or in a casket, something of that nature. So proper, I've been drawing or attracting to myself ever since I came to Christ some pretty satanic men, because that's what the devil will do. But after suffering for a little while, right, I'm going to be okay. All I gotta do is avoid. I'm not going to be arranged married, which is, you are naive to think that you can keep on arranged marrying people. You can keep on korobelaing the living daylights out of women. You can keep on slapping up and bring back lost lover, making people that are 5,000 kilometers out of a relationship come back. Like you properly think let juju yako can bring unkumuntu back. Dream on. I'm not pulled like a puppet on a string. I belong to Jesus. It's that basic. And the same thing also goes for friends. Who in the world hangs out and has lunch? No muntu that betrayed the living daylights out of her, did not even say sorry, came back, is still a witch, but is content that at least I'm a witch that is not being bewitched by this particular friend. I get to do all the sorcery in this. I get to put pimples on Karabo's face. I get to bring the chubaba. I get to block her womb. I get to block her marriage prospects. I get to block her career. Yeah, but then she's gonna leave me the heck alone because she doesn't believe in that stuff. She's not a dabbler. I mean, just the uncomfortableness of all that, the injustice of all that, the unequalness of those scales. You want to have your bread buttered on both sides, have your cake and eat it too. Have an innocent friend of yours continue to support you, have your back, plan your freaking baby showers while you busy bewitching everything in her life, including even the prospect of falling pregnant. Aisuga, ambanzinja, nyoketu Jesu. Go and choose the Lord Jesus Christ. Do that. Go on right ahead and choose Jesus, because frankly, even your longing for that friend that has always been ride or die is because you want someone that will not betray you like that, as someone that cannot be trusted with betraying others. There's only one person in this earth that is happy to embrace people that keep on betraying him, even though he doesn't betray them. He remains faithful even though we're faithless, because he cannot deny himself. His name is Jesus. What you need is Jesus. Jesus is the one that is content to make a friend out of an unreliable buffoon. I'm not that girl. Los me e duerme. As for the ex, naive. You've been naive for a minute. Never again am I ever gonna accommodate seboto. Setuleng tseleng setserianeng setsebang lawyer. Satanengana e tulitseng yo yona. It lost slam dunk after 12 years of a woman being celibate. The woman that every guy just couldn't get. A man that's gonna pride himself in that being his plaque. Not me. I'm not that girl. I'm signing out in Christ's name. I hope you've been edified. Randos, go to Jesus, not me. I'm not your God. He is. If you don't want him, I guess go to hell. Bye.